you guys seem to have really heated conversations sometimes. Sometimes saying like not the nicest things.
A lot of viewers, they always think it's like a tense argument or they expect an argument to happen, but it's just like a lot of us just talk very stern. Like for me, I'm just very monotone naturally.
If you met Apex developers, what would you say to them?
Uh, Fix the game, please. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sayang, and today I'm interviewing Duvy, the
Look,
coach of Team Nemesis Apex roster, uh, also the mastermind of the game.
kind of humble.
One thing I can tell for sure is that I would never be as invested in Apex without you. So
Appreciate it.
thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
So the first and obvious topic I want to discuss is EWC, qualifiers for EWC. And I want to know, going into EWC, what did you expect to be the biggest challenge?
Kind of the same as like just pro league for us at least, or how I see it. It's just a mental game more so than anything. We know we're good enough to like fight any team and win games. It's just making sure we're always just on the right page and just having a clear mental going into each game, whether we're doing bad like 2 3 games in a row. It's like there's always just one game. That's all it takes just to kind of salvage things. So it's just really that, just having the mental always clear and just staying as positive as you can realistically.
And would you say that the mental game turned out to be the biggest challenge in the regional qualifiers?
That's definitely kept us like, I guess, confident to like just know that okay, all we need is just one game, like match points in our favor realistically. Um, like as long as we just play our game and we guarantee getting into end game, we're always going to get points, and we can either drop a big game or like 10 points, whatever it may be, and it's always just something to take out of it.
I asked the same question to Sacred, and I want to ask you as well.
Mm.
If I say that you mainly qualified to EWC thanks to that last game where you placed third, is it true or is it me oversimplifying things?
I mean, I'll say it's pretty true for the most part. Like without that last game, we definitely would have made it. I think we would have been maybe like two, no, not like probably like a few points off if we didn't do good that game. Because like, that third place and the like the 1 or 2 kills we got in that game is what kind of salvaged us enough at least.
You mentioned that it wasn't ideal. Alp said that he called the worst apex of his life. Then Secret also told me that he believes everyone could play it better individually. And when you put all these things together, why do you think all of these things happened?
Honestly, it's like I think it was just like we knew what we had to do. We were spending hours just going into like our own VODs and just watching others and whatnot, and we felt confident going into it. Um, just kind of just wasn't working out. Like we weren't capitalizing on certain games that were on paper like the easiest games for us. Which I mean, it happens. It's frustrating, but I mean, it's just part of the game. Really, it's can't really account for everything, and just take it as you go. Really.
So you cannot account it to like one certain thing of like inexperience or unluck or just
I guess it's kind of like a mix of like just not really playing to how we know we need to be playing. Like we had, it's like from what I can remember, like 2 games that we were pretty much in God spot or just had a really good end game position at, and we just didn't capitalize on it. We made a mistake that would kill one of us and get the rest of us killed, or we just didn't get enough points as we needed to. And I mean, I guess that's just down to individual and team error. And I mean, that's really all I can at least think of from it.
I think I also remember those moments when it seems like you have a really good building, you fully set it up with everything, and it seems like you just need to play it there, and then 1 minute later you're just rushing and
Yeah,
pushing some random place, and
yeah, and it
that's
happens a
it.
lot with us. Which I mean, at times it's needed, at times it's like it's not ideal, but it still works at times. If not, we just die.
Also, the zones were far away like most of your games,
Mm.
but Sacred also told me like you cannot use it as an excuse.
Yeah, definitely not. Like, I mean, it's a BR after all, and it's always not going to be in our favor. We just have to kind of like adjust each game, like, and just from like things that we understood prior to like going into those games, we knew it was bound to happen, and we just kind of just played wrong. Like, it's just simple as that. We didn't play how we needed to, and we're just kind of rushing certain plays or just rotations when we had enough time to.
Then did it feel frustrating even a little bit, or like you had no time to think about being unlucky or something like that?
I mean, we're definitely all frustrated for sure, but it's like I said prior. It's like we know we have to have just like a clean slate mental going into each single game. Like it's just the only one's going to keep things positive and just have people at least try performing for that one next game, whether you win that game or get like just a lot of kills and like an eighth place or something. And we just talk about our frustrations and whatever else like much afterwards when we're kind of calm and collected.
Then I'd assume it could be really hard to like mentally reset, especially before that last game when there are so many teams at match point. Like any of them can win and it will be over for you. So like, do you remember what you told guys before that last game?
Uh, Not word for word, but it was kind of just knowing that it's like, look, I mean, I think it was maybe like 7 or 8 teams on match point or around there, but we knew it's like a lot of teams were doing so bad at the same time that it was still in our favor and that the scores were really tight. So it's like, okay, yeah, it's a high chance, it can end here, but just leave it out on the table regardless what happens, whether we win this game or not. Like just do it like what you can to get as many points. And we just knew that that's all we needed to do. And even before like the tournament even started, I just told them like, look, we're here to make history, not be part of somebody else's, and just do the best that we can, no matter what.
Wow, you're good at speeches.
Try to be.
You obviously qualified, but
Mm.
did you ever go back to that moment, to the day that you played regional qualifiers, wondering what you could have done differently?
To an extent, yeah, I wasn't going to like kind of what's the word for it? I guess like nitpick at it. Like we knew what we did wrong instantly and right after the games, and we talked about it too. Like the following days, like it was just the most simple mistakes that we made, knowing that we didn't have to do it. Um, and when it's just kind of like easily recognizable in that sense, I'm not really going to ever harp on it afterwards unless I absolutely need to. So we just kind of just took it on the chin. We talked about it and just moved on. Really.
And then, as I understand, after you were eliminated, not everyone was sure if you made it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like Skittles was convincing Sacred that he did the math and you qualified, and Sacred did not believe it. Like, can you walk me through those, like, I don't know, 5 minutes after you were eliminated and before you knew for sure that you qualified?
Uh, I mean, so like for us, when we play actively, we obviously have like a 10-minute delay, and we were kind of just as soon as like that last game ended, we knew it finished. Like we had a couple people message us like, "Oh, just barely made it" or whatever. But we also were just kind of just doing the math of like what team did what like per game or that last game, and we're like still 50-50 on it. And there's one website that people use that there's two websites, but one of the websites does like a live tracker.
Mhm.
And when it got to like a certain timestamp on like the broadcast to that live tracker, we knew instantly like, okay, yeah, it's guaranteed. So it took a lot of like stress out, but it was like the most nerve wracking like 5 minutes ever.
And then what did you feel once you realized that
I
you
felt
did it?
sick. Like I got up and just like had to like take a breather and like it's like okay, no, we barely did it. Like thankfully, like it shouldn't have been that close. We should have done much better. Obviously, we all knew that, but I mean, we were just all relieved and we just knew like okay, now we had to like just be prepared now.
It's interesting that you said that it was supposed to be much easier because Sacred told me that he knew that qualifying is not guaranteed and he knew that it will be a bumpy road ahead.
Mm.
So I'm surprised you have a slightly different
I
view
kind of
on
have to
this.
be, to be fair. Like, I mean, I knew it was going to be challenging for us, but I knew like in the back of my head, it's like, okay, no, going into that, like on paper, all we needed was about, I think, a top 10 at minimum, maybe a top 9, and like a couple of teams to not do great. And I was like, okay, no, that's all we need at the minimum. Obviously, we want to win or just do our best. And that's why I was like, okay, I'm going to be a little bit, I guess, cocky, whatever, or just like arrogant. But I knew that we had to just play our game, and it's going to be fine regardless. Obviously, it was far too close, but I mean, we still did it, and I mean, we're now.
Yeah, you seem to have a good sense of when you need to be corky and when you need to be.
It took time for sure.
And then, did you celebrate qualifying? I remember that Alp said something that he owes Sacred a wing stop.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't celebrate anything. I was just kind of like just
Thank
calm.
God
I
it's
just
over.
calmed down and was like, okay, I mean, we knew like we had to just kind of get back to being serious after a bit. Like it was not a good performance from us, and we knew that. And we kind of just like started planning what we have to do going to these international scrims, and like we just had to clean up as much as we can before the run starts.
Finishing up with the EWC part, what is something you need to fix, learn, or establish as a team to like be at your absolute best?
Honestly, it's probably just the two like most important things. They're just so simple, but we still like are kind of inconsistent. We've gotten much better at it now, but it's just like listening to each other and being on the same timings of play, like whether it's making a play or just like being ready to make a play. Those two are probably like our biggest downfalls. Like at times we just rush something when we're not ready to as a 3 man, or one person just playing too fast and they die for it. It's kind of like we just need to know how to commit as a team together to a play and just listening in general.
I'm under the impression that team made a lot of progress, especially because the guys discussed it on screams that the problems you used to have all the time are almost like non-existent now.
For the time, for the most part, yeah. Like I would say the last 2.5 weeks has gotten much more clean. Obviously, we still have mistakes here and there, but it's definitely gotten much more consistent to where it's like I don't need to harp on it anymore or as often, I guess. Um, and it's for sure been showing in our results. Like at times we do still play like a bit unrealistic. I want to say unrealistic, but we just play to the lobby at times. But we also still just know that okay, we're gonna play how we ideally would play on a normal game day, and kind of just go from there. And it's been good so far for sure.
Right, right. Now I want to talk about you a little bit.
Okay.
So, well, you keep a very low profile online. It's
Yeah.
like
Just
so
how I
hard
am.
to find anything. Is it just like how you are as a
Yeah.
person?
I mean, I don't really post in anything, whether any of my socials really. Like I kind of just don't care to. Like I know I should for the most part, but it's just I'm just here to do my job. Kind of just take it day by day and go from there.
But also a few years back, you said that you enjoyed streaming, and then
I
it
was trying to,
stopped.
yeah. So like when I first got into like the Twitch scene, and let alone just like mainly Apex, like I was trying to stream a lot. Obviously, I only have maybe like 100 or sub 100 followers, which is like whatever. And I'll just do it just because I mean, just something to do. And I enjoyed it for a bit, got bored of it, kind of just being more private and just playing with my friends like off stream or just whatever it may be, and just kind of continued to do that.
Then, as I understand, coaching is not the only thing you do.
Yeah, I have another job. I mean, I won't say what it is. It's just like it's my full, I guess, full time. I do that from like the morning to like early afternoon, and I just kind of just chill out and then do scrims like during our normal pro league. Right now, I kind of do the same thing, but I'm on my time off right now, so I can just do all the morning scrims.
And then, how do you balance having two jobs, then screams, and also sometimes having to wake up at 5 a.m.?
Uh, it's kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, I've gotten used to it the past maybe like 8 9 months. It's kind of just I try following like my schedule that I have and just working around primarily at least Apex, and knowing that I can at least try being on time or just kind of working around like what I can do if I'm not going to be there that certain day or something. whether it's just like extra notes or just messaging them like whatever I see.
And then what's like your ideal or the routine you're aiming for with all of these things?
Um, I'm not even sure. I kind of at this point I'm just doing it because like I know I guess I'm good at what I do, and I just enjoy the experience of it. Because I've always wanted to be a professional, like in whatever game I played, or just liked watching, or since I was like a teenager. And to just do it now is just kind of like it's just much more enjoying to do, I guess.
But can you give me like usually what time do you wake up? What are the things you're trying to do other than job playing?
Um, like my daily routine, or
Mhm.
I mean, I wake up at around like 4 or 5 a.m. If I don't work, I kind of just like go to the gym or just walk outside for a bit, since it's just kind of like just quiet. Um, and then I'll just kind of just hang out, do whatever I need to do. If it's like times like this, I'll just go on Twitch or just talk to some of my friends that are online, and then after scrims, I'll watch some VODs for hours and other teams that were streaming. Kind of just chill afterwards. It's just like a repeat of that. During work, it's just kind of the same thing, except for I just go to work, come home, I'll do some like notes or watch VODs, and then just repeat. It's a very
Okay.
boring schedule, but it works.
I mean, you're going gym. I feel like it's not really common among pro players.
I've been trying to go back. Like I probably go maybe 3 times a week right now, but I gotta like lock it back in for sure.
Definitely better than zero for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have a degree, by the way?
And sports nutrition, yeah, or I guess food science technically.
Wow, that's unexpected. Um, your Liquipedia starts in like late 2024.
Mhm.
Can you tell me what you were doing before
Before that, I was
that?
just like just doing my full time job, like fully. I wasn't really doing anything like I guess Apex related, other than just like playing ranked and just watching players. Like much before that, I was playing FIFA, like on their like ranked scene, I guess, for about 3 4 years. I didn't really do anything like professionally like that. I was just doing just like side tournaments and they're ranked. And then same as for Siege, I was doing like I guess like a tier 3, tier 4 scene, which isn't like anything major, but I was just doing all of that. And then that game got really just stale at the time during some of the updates. And that's when I came into Apex and I started just playing the game more, watched a couple of pros. And I was like, it's actually a really fun game, like competitively, and kind of just wanted to start coaching. I never thought of playing professionally, at least for Apex, because I knew I was not good enough. But I knew I can like read the game pretty well, and just took it step by step, really.
So you came into Apex and then you just started looking for some opportunities to coach and just grind it from there?
Yeah, I started with a women's team like years ago. It was the Dark Zero women's team, and there were some of my friends in there, so I was just helping them out. And then one of my friends in the Challenger Circuit scene, he wanted me to coach him for a bit, so I did that. And then I got an offer like super last minute before the 2024 last chance qualifier for champs with my first like I guess main team that I took time with. We almost made champs, and then stuck with them throughout pro league, and then I kind of started moving my way up with like other offers that I was getting along the way, and now I'm here.
Then it's really interesting because most of the coaches I know, they either wanted to be pros but couldn't, so they settled for like being coaches, or like they literally compromised their own ambition because they knew they couldn't win. But for you, it seems like you always just done coaching.
Pretty
Uh,
much, yeah.
is it simply because you knew you wouldn't make it as a player, or is it just naturally you're naturally good at it?
The thing is, it's a bit of both. It's like I'm not bad at the game. I'm not good at it though. To like how as I view it, like I should be if I was trying to be a player at least. but I know that I can read the game pretty much like same level as them and understand like what can be done differently and kind of just like improve on either small aspects or just full game coverage. And I also just didn't like really want to commit that much time as like what I kind of
Hmm.
can do as a coach compared to as a player.
Okay, that makes sense. Then, can you tell me the story of your nickname?
Duvy.
Hmm.
Uh, and it's like it's during my high school years. When I was before I got with my ex, like her group of friends would always call me like those I was like lovey dovey, and so I was like, no, I'm just gonna kind of like adopt that last part, but just change it as just Dovey, and yeah, just carried it on since.
So it has nothing to do with the rapper, because when I Google
I get
Davi,
that. I
it's
get that too. Yeah,
yeah.
but it has nothing to do with him. No, I got brought up that like one of my old teammates is like viewers. If I knew that, I was like, I know who he is, but no, that's enough from that.
Have you ever thought about what would your life look like or be like if you never downloaded Apex?
I'll just be doing my job fully, honestly. Like just committing to that, or probably living somewhere in Europe with my same job in a different, like, I guess, field. Um, 'Cause that's probably the only difference, maybe.
Since you brought up Europe, is there a particular country that you would want to live?
Probably, I guess, like Germany or France, but I haven't like thought too much into it realistically.
Okay, okay. Then you joined like this team after Skittle and Sacred and Alp and Luna, the analyst. I believe
Mhm.
they were all already stacked as a team. How did you came into the picture?
So Alb and I worked together prior last year, like very briefly, but he liked how I was coaching, kind of like just doing certain things. And when he joined Skittle, I was he was trying to bring me along, but their previous teammate they were content with their current coach, so I kind of went my own way. Um, then I got an offer last minute to be with a different team during champs. Then I was with them, and then I stuck with that team for the first half of this split.
Mhm.
Things were going well. I messaged Alp like, "Hey, I know you guys are kind of like on the fence about looking for another coach. I'll be down to work with you again." And he entertained it, and that's really how it was.
Then, was it easy to find your role within a team since they've been established together before?
I mean, well, Alp wasn't IGLing at the time, but I knew like kind of from like briefly watching them for at least a good like week and a half, 2 weeks, like how he wants to play the game and how he reads it, let alone how Skittle and Sacred like mesh like in the roles. So I was just working off of that and kind of just try to just cater to like their strength in a sense, and that's what I've been trying to do more now, and it's working out for sure.
Then, what are your like daily responsibilities as a coach? Is it just watching bots and making notes of how teams play, or what is it?
Um, for the most part, yeah. Like right now, I'm not like kind of doing too much onto it because in these scrims, it's a lot of teams are kind of just playing to play, or we're not really sure where like teams are gonna be landing at on actual game day until Monday. So I haven't really done too much of that. I've kind of been prioritizing more of just our own games and like what we are doing right now.
If you could roughly estimate how much of the game or game's outcome depend on you, how much would that be?
I'll say maybe like 30 to 40%, if that. Because like at the end of the day, it's like they're playing the game and it's a lot of variables come into like each game randomly. So it's kind of just like they just got to play how we kind of just practiced and talked about playing. And like if we get into a specific scenario where I've kind of like talked about it, and then they already kind of know how to approach it for the most part, and that's really about it.
30 or 40 is much more than I expected, to be honest.
It's probably
Because
more
the
like
game
30,
feels
but for sure, like the bulk of it is like all on them.
because the game feels very in the moment and
Yeah.
quite. Do you have like a number one rule for yourself as a coach?
Mm, I'll say it gets like not like like crash out. Like I try my best, like just never like do that. 'Cause it's like it doesn't help like ever. Like obviously I'll be frustrated and like I'll kind of like call somebody out, but I'm never gonna like just cuss at somebody and just like just yell at them. Like that doesn't work at all. And I've done that ever since I've started coaching, and I just try sticking by it.
And what would you say are like three qualities that coach should have?
I guess kind of just like being blunt really is for sure like the most important one in my opinion. Like just say it how it is, whether it's like telling like just calling it a mistake or just saying like what should be done differently. Um, just be a good listener and also like just like a mediator with that as well. Like when times are like tense with like two teammates or the whole team in general. Like just, I just think off the top of my head, that's what I can at least think of. It has to be like a baseline.
Then, since you bring up a good listener part, do you view your role more like a friend, a parent, a psychologist, or just purely like professional coach?
Pretty much everything at this point. Like I mean, obviously, I'm not here to always like be a friend or like a babysitter. Like at times, it's like I know I'm going to like mediate and like kind of calm one person down, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like we all have the same goal. We all are, I guess, adults in a sense, or we are, and we just have to just be mature as we can. Like obviously, we're going to be frustrated and like have an argument here and there. It's completely normal, but it's always just like levels to it where it has to just kind of like have like a breaking point or like it's a stopping point, and like I'll just have like to just reset that and just say how it is. I mean, if I hurt somebody's feelings, it's like it's not personal. It's just like we have to just to lock it in. Really,
Then, would you say that it's important to find a different approach for different player?
before I would say yes, but now it's like I kind of I for myself I have to just do it be myself and kind of say it how it is, or else it's going to be, I guess, in my head considered like favoritism, or I just don't want to have to like change how I approach it, I guess, a certain situation for somebody else compared to another person.
Another thing I'm very interested in, because, for example, in Dota, I am at situations where players do not really trust or respect the coach because coach have never been a pro before.
Mm,
So it's like, yeah, you can be good at the game, but you've never been like where we are.
yeah.
Uh, would you say it happens in Apex as well?
Um, for me, no. At least to my understanding, it hasn't. At least like I just kind of like for how I, excuse me, like hold myself and just handle situations in general. But I feel like for like maybe some other instances with like coaches and pros, probably yeah. I wouldn't be surprised by it because I mean, a lot of pros, I mean, they know the game really well, especially the top ones. So it's like it's not really too much kind of like you have to do as a coach to just work with them. It's like more so just either backing something up or just calming down the situation. So I guess there's like that level where it's like I can see it where a player might not think, I guess, not highly of the coach, but they might just not listen to what they need to say because they already know it as well.
And can you briefly introduce me into analyst role? Because I cannot imagine what they do, to be
I mean,
honest.
Luna, she does like a lot. I mean, for her, she just pulls a lot of like data from games that we played or just games in other regions, whether it's like zones or pathings, just a bunch of like stats, and she just does that for a good amount of like, seasons or like, splits we have, and we just look through it if we need to. Kind of just gives like a general idea of like how we need to like plan for certain things or just what could help us out, and yeah, the most simple way I can explain it at least.
Okay. Wow. And is there something you would never allow in your team?
um, I mean, I'm kind of not really. I don't really restrict anything. It's like we're all human. Like we're all gonna have like emotions and whatnot. So it's like I guess just not letting things get like carried away, whether it's like an argument or just our mentals. and little just kind of being like, um, I guess like just not humble enough. I guess like we're all like the same like level headed. We know like where we're at and what we have to do, and it's just making sure we're staying as that.
Then this brings me to another question because you guys seem to have really heated conversations sometimes. Sometimes saying like not the nicest things to each other.
Yeah, I mean, like at times it's like for sure could be approached differently, but for the most part, it's just kind of how we all, I guess, communicate. For the most part, if it's like a lot of viewers, they always think it's like a tense argument or they expect arguments to happen, but it's just like a lot of us just talk very stern. Like for me, I'm just very monotone naturally, so I'm not going to be like just cheerful and like a very like, positive voice. It's like I can't do that. I just cannot care enough to. And then Up and Sacred, I mean, they're like they just talk like how their tone is. It's not like for us, we can kind of read when it's going to be an argument or not. But like I would
Mhm.
say, like 90% of the time, it's just a normal conversation for us. It's like, and if I can tell it's an argument about to happen, I'll butt in and kind of like just like either I'll purposely side with one person or I'll just say like, no, look, just chill out, just walk away or something.
I mean, to me, it makes a lot of sense why everyone is shouting, and I do not see this as something necessarily bad because it's a very loud game. There are like
Yeah,
60 players. There are like nades and everything flying. It's like if you don't make your call loud enough, it's like
exactly.
it's hard to follow.
Yeah, like obviously we die in a we like if we die in a frustrating way. I mean, we're not going to be talking. Oh, nice try, guys. Like we're going to be annoyed because it shouldn't have happened or something.
Mhm.
But people honestly, they either do or they don't understand. That's just how we're going to talk, and it just happens.
The coaches I've spoken to can be divided into two major categories.
Okay,
One, get giga anxious when their players are playing and when they cannot affect anything, they cannot change anything or say anything. And others are like, can fully detach themselves from it and be like, I did what I could. It's like, it's on them now. Which one are you?
for sure the second one. Oh, I guess the second one, yeah, because it's like we go over like many things prior to like our game days and whatnot, and it's like okay, I kind of gave my help. Now it's just like they just have to play the game, and obviously I trust them enough to just perform. If we don't, then it's like okay, I'd have to kind of reset, say just make sure we slow things down or we communicate whatever like, the issue was. I just kind of reiterate it, and we just go next. Really,
Since this is the first battle royale that I'm actually following,
mm-hmm.
it's very different from a game where like there's one team that wins and they're happy and one team that loses and they are unhappy. Here it's like one team wins and 19 teams technically they lose.
Mm-hmm.
uh, would you say it makes it easier or harder to process the fact that you're like you're not first but you're also not the last?
Kinda, yeah, because it's like we have a good amount of games where it's like we'll get I don't know, like maybe like an eighth and a handful of kills. It's like okay, it's better than nothing. It's like we're either in a bad situation and we have to just play that way, or we had a good like early mid game and we just died afterwards. It's kind of like a whatever. Like, it's just we have a good amount of points on the board and just take it to the next game. Like we also like kind of instilled a mentality. It's like if we're in a bad spot and we can't get into like the next zone, like late game, we just play for it's called like play for eight, and it's just like we just play for a team fight, and because at least this forces us to do something, and it's like we either we get the points and we die afterwards, or we get lucky enough to just keep living, and then if we die, then we die. It's like we died doing something. So it's like if we had games like that, which is consistent, like top eights, man, like a handful of points, okay, good enough, whatever. Like obviously it's not great, but it's like at least something. Obviously, we always want to get like a win in a game, but sometimes you just have to take what you can get.
And then when it comes to a tournament, do you think a team can be genuinely happy with the second or third place, or it's like first or nothing?
Um, I mean, after like all the games end and it's like kind of like cool down, it's like okay, yeah, we got second place. It's not first, but I mean, still, a top two. Like it's still a good result regardless. It's like obviously everybody's goal, should just be first always and win everything, but sometimes if it's like a top three, still, at least it's a good feeling to have. Obviously, it's like it goes down to like levels to like certain extents, but happens.
And then, as a coach, if there was any way to introduce timeouts into Apex and in battle royales in general, would you want it to be?
Probably not, honestly, because it's like at least during like lands and tournaments, definitely no, because you can like either kind of exploit that to like knowing where the zone's going to be at just from like what you already saw and they're not sure of it, or it's like you can just kind of tweak out a whole game plan, and it's like that's just I feel like it'd be very, at least for Apex, like any BR, it'd be very like game breaking and just overkill, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I guess it's not really possible because some team can be having their moment and then suddenly they have to stop because somebody has to discuss something.
Yeah.
Um, Also, you told me that you play on mouse and keyboard. Have you ever tried to switch to controller?
No. I play like controller like on like Call of Duty and like the generic like FPS games before on console, but not on Apex. No.
And as I understand, your team has two players on controller and one on mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, Alba and
Skittle.
Sacred are the real players, and then Skittle was MK.
And then, is it like common for a squad in Apex to have players on both, or is it like they always try to choose one for everyone?
Like way back then, it was like either all M and K, and then slowly more controller players. I think now it's kind of gotten to a point where it's like you're either all controller or just like that little split, maybe either two of one input and one of the other, and vice versa. Which all depends on like I guess the team, I guess, and how they perform.
Do you think M and K players have ever been pressured by their teammates or anyone, or like the community, to switch?
I want to say pressured, but I feel like for Apex, like controllers is such a strong input, whereas like some MK players are just swapped to it and they've either gotten better or they kind of just like stay the same, which is still good, or obviously sometimes still like average or whatever. But for sure, like a lot of players that are MK have gone to roller, like it's just hard to not deny that it's a really strong input. So it's like better off just to practice it and just be better at it.
But have anyone ever tried to convince Skittle to switch?
I mean, I know Skittle played on console before he came into like Pro Apex. I don't think he probably would play. I'm not sure honestly, but I'm pretty sure. Like I know he's like comfortable on MNK though. For sure, like on his role, he's probably one of the best players. Like no matter the input.
For sure. Um, what was your best and favorite memory as a coach in your career?
So far, it was during champs, like this recent champs, when my previous team and I we won a game, and it was just like in the context of it, it was we were in losers round one, I think, or round two. I think it was round one, and we were like in 15th place or something, and we had like a really tough game. It was like stressful. We got into the end game and we had like an insane play, and then we won the game from it. And it was just like we were all like just super hype and just like yelling at each other and like everything. And that's just like probably for like off the top of my head like my best moment for now. Yeah,
That's cute. And then on the contrary, the worst.
felt a lot. Felt a lot. Probably. Actually, it's like this far too many to like even like they're like in the same tier. But I guess earlier this split on my previous team, we had it was like a baby comp game, and we had a zone close to us where it's like we don't need a rush to go to that zone. We could just take our time. We rushed to that zone, and we died for it. And it was just like a bad day already, so it was just like that cherry on top. But I
That
mean, it
sounds,
happens.
yeah, very chaotic game. Always happens. Then, lastly, before we start with rapid fire questions, is do you think Apex is dying?
Not really. I mean, I don't think so. At least competitively, it's not dying. I mean, We got a bigger prize pool this year for all the lands. Um, we still get a lot of viewers on those like on pro league days and at lands. I mean, a lot of pros that I'm friends with in different games. I mean, they love watching our tournaments because it's just different and it always just has the same amount of hype to it. As for like the general game, I mean, it has its moments where there's a lot of more players coming in and then kind of like slows down, which is kind of normal, I feel like. But overall, I want to say it's dying now.
I just see a lot of people on Reddit, they're saying that pro scene is dying, competitive Apex is dying. So I was wondering where that comes from.
A lot of just people that aren't good at the game or just don't understand it realistically. I mean, one thing we always kind of like follow is just never trust Reddit, especially for Apex. I mean, it's as simple as that. Yeah, I mean, they just love like saying that well, just having the worst takes. It's normal.
Yeah. Okay. Then we start with rapid fire. You need to answer quick. Okay.
Okay.
Describe your team in one word.
Fun.
Same word with sacred. Favorite activity away from PC.
One more time, sorry.
Favorite activity away from PC.
Soccer.
Favorite food.
Chinese.
Movie, anime, or series.
Ooh. Peaky Blinders.
Yeah. One thing you would never go to LAN tournament without apart from your devices.
Uh, my wallet.
Okay. Uh, anything you're excited to try in Paris or a place to visit?
I guess the pastries.
Hard work or talent?
Hard work.
If you could play only one legend for the rest of your life, who would it be?
Bangalore.
And if you could delete one legend from Apex, who would it be?
Crypto.
If this map would be deleted from the game, you wouldn't feel a thing.
Ooh. Olympus.
Why everyone hates Olympus?
Such a bad map.
I think for the first 10 games that I played of Apex, I was always on Olympus. So, like, I like Olympus. I don't know.
We all hate it. At least for competitive. I don't mind
Yeah.
for ranked.
Okay. Rank these from most important to least important. Aim, movement, map awareness, chemistry, comms, and strategies.
Chemistry between players. Uh, strategies, comms, and then actually no strategies, aim, comms, map awareness, and then movement.
Okay. What do you think was the highest level of Apex ever played?
Ooh. Year 4. Either year 4 or year 3.
Okay. And then best coach in the world.
Shout out my boy Talmage.
Okay. Best team of all time.
TSM.
With what roster?
Hal, Verls, and Reps.
And best IGL of all time.
Probably Hal.
And best
It's either
player
Zero
of,
or Hal, I guess.
and then best player of all time.
Yeah, probably still Hal.
And lastly, if you met Apex developers, what would you say to them?
Fix the game, please. Thank you.
What exactly need to be fixed?
All of the bugs they put in after every update, especially the crypto ones, and yeah,
So mainly the back bugs.
yeah,
Okay. These are all the questions I had. I hope you had fun. I had a
definitely.
lot of fun. Thank you for being so open and so honest.
course.
Yeah. So there you have it, guys. I spoke to Davi. I hope you enjoyed this conversation just as much as I did, and
Definitely.
I'll see you. I'll see you for more Apex content. So bye bye.